Welcome back to Deadball TV, everybody. We got another Premier League recap for y'all. Drop your biggest takeaways from match day 6 in the Prem down below in the comments. Smash the like button. And I'm going to jump right into Spurs. My Spurs putting the beat down 3-0 against Manchester United. Crazy stat to start this episode, dude. Manchester United, last 20 games at home, 9 wins, 8 losses. They've lost 8 of the last 20 at home. That is wild. I remember like 10 years ago, or especially, like Fergie era, bro, you don't get points at Old Trafford. And now we might as well call it the candy shop. Everybody's showing up, grabbing some Skittles and dipping with 3 points.
You walk in, you browse, you take whatever you want.
You take whatever. They got free samples all over the place. You don't even have to pay.
No. If it was a city, it would remain unsacked for the next 20 years because there's nothing there. It has already been taken.
Correct.
You ask the other teams, you're like, are we going back there? It was easy last time. Like, no, we took it all. No shot that
everybody done hit that.
Everybody's taking. Yeah, there's no more silverware there. We took it all.
There's no monks. They've all been slain.
Yeah. The Spurs should have free reign to take one of the trophies back to White Hart Lane.
We couldn't even do that correctly. Well, we tried, but we sent Timo Werner to sneak around the back and steal it, and that man is finished, dude. Finished.
He got caught out.
He was caught and executed via guillotine. I shouldn't be this annoyed after winning 3-0, but like that guy is so bad that it was genuinely ruining the experience for me. Like I was watching the game. I think he had 2 one-on-one chances with Onana, who saved both of them. And he had one opportunity where I think it's Brennan Johnson is completely wide open for a simple pass, and he just goes for the shot. I mean, Mickey Moore is kind of like this young winger that a lot of guys in the fan base are starting to clamor for more minutes. Yeah. And I don't think I have ever agreed more than I do right now, because that guy, he cannot get serious minutes for any club that's trying to get, I mean, not even top 4, dude, top 8. You cannot start Timo Werner and get top 8.
Where was he before Spurs? He was in the German league again, right?
Yeah, he was back at Leipzig. Yep.
Send him back. Send him back. You cannot be having fun here.
Yeah.
He's mad as hell. He's missing Oktoberfest right now. He's got to be.
I'm mad as hell that he's missing Oktoberfest as well.
I wish he was over there in the Lederhosen tapping kegs. He should be.
Yeah. You said you watched the full game. Obviously, there was the Bruno Fernandes red card, which I don't really want to talk about too much. It was a little soft, in my opinion. Manchester United, what do you think is the biggest problem with them right now? And I know this could be a 30-minute conversation, but let's try to make it concise because we got some other games to talk about here. Because I kind of got my main reason for why they're just down in whatever the place beneath Bikini Bottom is. But I want to hear what your biggest reason is. Is it rock bottom? Is that literally what it's called?
Rock bottom? Yeah, probably. I think so.
Comment down below.
Comment down below. God, we're going to get the most comments we've ever received. I just want to start by saying Spurs were in control of this game before Man United went down to 10 men, and that didn't really change afterwards. Man United never stopped fighting, which is nice. I think you have Ten Hag to thank for that. And I see like a slow culture shift, but I would say overall it's still the culture and the organization. I really don't think that you can pin it on any one player, because I feel like they're trimming a lot of their fat. They're just missing one guy to really come in and lead the team, is what I would say. Because if Bruno Fernandes is your captain, the guy's really trying, but I don't think he's a leader of men. Like you need somebody who's going to come in and instigate competition. I think one of the best things that Chelsea has done so far was to bring in Cole Palmer. Whether they knew that was going to happen or not, I would venture a guess that nobody foresaw that coming. But I think that you need somebody who's just a dog, who elevates everybody else, right? Who inspires the rest of the team to perform better. And I just think that they're really missing that, and I don't know where you find that.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna piggyback off that. I think if you look at Man U, the players are simply just not good. Like they're not bad, but they're not great. How many world-class players they have in this team? Maybe one. Bruno
Maybe,
Fernandes.
maybe.
I mean, let's be fair without being insulting, which is not my specialty. If you're looking at this player by player, their attack is a guy who wasn't even called up to England's Euro, Argentina's backup, and a guy that's just now breaking in to the Dutch national team.
Yeah.
Like Ten Hag, is he ass cheeks? Put that aside for a second. Who's winning the league with that front three?
No, and you think about what you came from. You came from Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Cavani. And, granted, Marcus Rashford looked incredible for 1, maybe 2
5 years,
collective years. Yeah. Over the last 5, I think he's got about, 1.5 years of excellent performance.
Correct. Dude, he's
and
not
Garnacho,
even in the England squad anymore.
Exactly. Garnacho on his day is phenomenal. He had one really just, dude, it feels like every single game I watch him, he's got just a cracker bang right off the crossbar or the goalpost or something. He's almost there. But the point is, like, you're talking about today, the man needs some help. Like, you can't have him leading. He doesn't even know what that means yet,
No. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the back line. Diego Dallo, Licha, Matthijs de Ligt, Mezrahi. Who's the best player back there? Probably.
Dude, I don't know.
Maybe Licha or Mezrahi?
Licha on his day, because
on his day,
we're both in agreement here that when he's good, and when he's not, I mean, the man's just got some clear. He's a market value Cuti Romero. He's a great value. Excuse me, great value Cuti Romero.
Correct. He's the AliExpress Cuti Romero.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's too offensive.
And no, I think
Cuti Romero.
The point is, he's a B grade. He's a B grade.
Yeah, the point is he's a B grade. Let's very quickly. Diego Dallo. Top 5 left back in the Prem? No. Licha, top 5 CB?
No.
Matthijs de Ligt, top 5 CB?
No. Now,
top 10 CB?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the list.
I don't think so. Mezrahi, top 5 right back?
No.
Okay, so then this is the one thing with Man U. I understand the frustration, right? I understand the fall from the highest of highs of European excellence and footballing excellence. But this squad is buns, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like a genuinely, hold on, let me pull up the table. So right now, Manchester United, 12th place. They've lost 3 of their opening 6 games. You could look at their starting 11 band for band, and you could say Brighton is better. And if you are on the ganj, you could stretch it enough to say West Ham's might be just as good. Now, it's some strong hallucinogens that you're on. But you could, you're entering, we're breaking into the stratosphere of is this a serious football discussion? West Ham's 11 versus Manchester United. Because I promise you, Jared Bowen's starting and Mohamed Kudus starting.
Jared Bowman started. Yeah. Yep.
Probably throw a West Ham center back in there. So
yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably dude. I would throw in. I think Paquetá gets in. I think Bowen, Kudus. Trying to think the fullbacks.
What about your boy?
No, I think
not Alvarez.
Over Ugarte.
No. How did Ugarte play today, in your opinion?
I thought he was pretty good. I think it's his first start for Manchester United. For the love of God, keep that man in. I think him,
That is
Kobe
that is
Manu,
the
like that could be
smartest
something.
purchase that I've seen them make in a long time.
Correct. If he comes good and is given a run of games, it's a top 3 buy for Ten Hag, no question. And the guy's proved to be one of the worst recruiters in all of football. Like it's not like Manchester United. I don't know. It's not like they used to have like La Masia with Barcelona, and all of a sudden their player development's fallen off. I mean, they can't buy anybody good. Like they don't buy. I'll say it like this: they don't buy difference makers. They don't buy trash players. They don't buy difference makers, which is the problem because you're Manchester United. So that's why I think they're doomed, man. Like where do you think they finish? Let's move on after this. But where do you think they finish when the season's over? Let us know in the comments too. They've already lost to Brighton, Liverpool, and Spurs.
Where are they sitting now?
12th.
I'd say 8th.
8th?
7th, 8th.
Five goals scored in 6 games. Oh,
look, they're a very streaky team. This happens to them. It happened last year. It happened the year before. I've been saying this for 2 years. The league's more fun when Manchester United is good, and they will be good eventually. And the media is going to pop off. The second that everybody gets bored with the Chelsea dialogues, magically, Manchester United is going to become good again. They're going to go on a run of probably 5 to 6 games, maybe like 4 wins, 2 draws in there, and everybody's going to be talking about how good they are, right? How legitimate that is and how sustainable that is, I don't know. It's not. It's not. I'll say that.
It's not. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm saying they finish 8 to 9 this season. They just do not. Of course, they could have a banging winter transfer window. They somehow bring in Victor Osimhen, and we're having a different conversation. But unless they bring in the Nigerian prince, I really do think they're finishing 8th or 9th because that's about how good this squad is. I don't think Ten Hag is punching too much above his weight. I think they'll make a deep run in one of the cups.
Yeah.
But, I mean, bro, even FC Twente just tied them at home. I mean, it is. You're not doing shit if you cannot defend the home turf.
Yeah. You giving
if
it
it's
away.
for free. You're giving everybody free trials. It is way too easy to just make a new email account, get another 7 days free, just over and over again. You're not making any money. So they need to blow something up.
I agree.
Now, a team that is polar opposite of Manchester United is Liverpool, who just beat Wolves 2-1 at Molineux. Real quickly on Wolves, before we focus in on Liverpool here, the worst defense in the league. 16 goals conceded after 6 games. That is wild to me.
And here's the thing.
That is wild.
We said this last week. You can have a bad defense if your offense is firing. You can. Mm-hmm. You can do that. Their offense is not firing. You're telling me Ait Nouri? Ait Nouri's your guy? You know what? I would argue that that the Wolves offense feels like Manchester United's in that you're getting so close. You are like almost there. You're not playing awful, horrible games. I mean, maybe this game for Manchester United is a little questionable, but you're not putting up terrible performances offensively. You got to put these away, though, for the love of God.
Yeah.
You're telling me Strand, Larson, and Cunha can't get a goal between them? Not even a contribution? Ait Nouri's got to run the entire length of the field to get up there? No. Something's rotten in the state of Denmark.
Yeah. No, Cunha, I think I've said this in 4 episodes in a row. Man needs some help. Because he's balling. Right now, Matthias Cunha, I mean, he walks into most teams in the Prem right now. Like, he looked like a fraudulent player at Atleti. He was purchased by Wolves. I remember it was like 50 million. I was like, holy shit, we just fleeced him. And it turns out he's been an animal. Like, he's running the field. He's creating chances. He's scoring the few goals that Wolves have. He's their top goal scorer with 2. Larson, I think he looks good. He looks promising. But here's the thing with Wolves. You're 6 games in, bro, and you bottom with 1 point. At some point, either Gary O'Neill needs to go, or he's got to say, okay, we might have some very attractive attacking players here. We might be able to just like dribble you guys, but we're going to get relegated if we keep doing that. So at what point do they go to the 5-4-1 and just have Matthias Cunha up top by himself and just hope that his quality alone gets you, I don't know, 11 goals this season, and it's enough to finish 16th, and you just survive. Because they can't continue.
No.
If they're bottom match week 10, they got to sack him.
Yeah, I think so. I
hate to say it because I like him, but he has to go at that point, or massive change in formation. So let's talk about Liverpool here for a second, because this one bamboozles me. The fact that nobody's talking about this club. Why is Liverpool not being considered a genuine title contender this season? I don't hear anybody talking about them. People act like Klopp left and they just fell off and, like, you know, sold half the team, and now they're starting.
Well, listen,
Danny Ings up top.
I'll defend that a little bit. You are going from Klopp to a significant downgrade, at least right now. You know, if this man pulls something out of the hat, okay, fair and valid. But if Klopp couldn't do it, especially in his last season when they looked unbeatable for a large stretch of the season last year, if Klopp couldn't do it, how is this guy going to do it? Especially when Darwin Núñez is subpar. It looked like the Darwin Núñez problem had been solved a couple of times last year. The man just cannot find a stretch. I think it's got to be an emotional thing. I think he's just got to get his head right. Luis Diaz is finding nice form.
Nice form, bro. He's in team of the season right now.
He is in team of the season. He is in team of the season. I think we're waiting to see some bigger games, right? Because who do they have? Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, West Ham, and Wolves.
Coming up?
No.
Those are games. They just lost to Forest.
And they also beat AC Milan 3-1. Very nice.
Away from home.
Away from home. It's a very impressive feat. Yes, agreed. They've got Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton next.
Yeah.
I think that is when the storylines will develop. People aren't talking about them because they're not getting media coverage. The media coverage isn't sexy yet. It will come in these next 5 games. The first 5, they got their feet set. You're poised for a great run of form here. You're in a great run of form now. Let's see it carry on. I think if they get a win against Chelsea, I think that's when the storylines start developing. Yeah, because Chelsea looks like, I mean, we talked about it. When is it time? Everybody's saying it's time now for Chelsea. Everybody's saying that they're real. They've turned it on. Cole Palmer's, the next big thing.
Well, that's why I find it so weird. It's because Chelsea went from finished to contenders in like 3 weeks. Meanwhile, Liverpool are doing the exact same thing, albeit against a weaker fixture strength. But dude, they've allowed 2 goals in 6 games. They have the best defense in the league, 3rd best offense, best GD. They have a 10 goal differential. City have an 8 goal differential. Arsenal 7. Their attack is pretty much popping off. I mean, Arne Slow has basically said, all right, Darwin, you're a bench guy. I'm going with Diego Jota. And it's working. I don't get it. You beat Man U 3-0 at home, 3-0 at Old Trafford, which is looking less and less impressive as the days go by. Beat AC Milan 3-1 away. They just beat West Ham 5-1 at Anfield in the Cup. And no one gives a damn. And I think it's to your point that they haven't really beaten anybody that big yet, at least not in the Prem. And if they get a result, you're saying Chelsea at Anfield, I'm seeing Arsenal away. If they get something in that game, oh yeah, you can't ignore them anymore.
I'm just thinking straight storylines. Storylines is what I'm going for here. And everybody is just hopping on the Chelsea bandwagon. So I think that is the time that they get some serious media coverage and people start talking about them more. I agree that the eye test, not the eye test. The eye test has been passed. It's been passed for the last 2-3 years, right? I'm saying that the real test will be Arsenal. That will be it. Are you the real deal? Should I be taking you seriously? Yes. That is Arsenal for sure. And I would argue Brighton too. I would argue Brighton as well.
Interesting. I'm going to say, next 5 for Liverpool. Crystal Palace away, Chelsea home, Arsenal away, Brighton home, Villa home.
And let's not throw away who they're playing in between that. They've got 2 bouts against RB Leipzig there as well.
2. Interesting.
Wait.
I didn't know they could play him twice.
No, just kidding. Man, all Germans look the same to me. It's Leverkusen.
Oh, okay. They're playing Leipzig and then Leverkusen?
Leipzig and then Leverkusen. Yep.
Ooh, those are tough games, man.
And Brighton back-to-back once in the EFL Cup.
Yeah, I saw that.
Listen,
I mean, they're going through the gauntlet now.
They're going through the gauntlet. I think you come away with 6 points against Brighton. I'm not saying that Brighton's going to, go up against them, but it will be a good test for their defense, as well as plenty of goal scoring opportunities for their offense. So I think you can really showcase here.
I genuinely think they could get 14 points from the next 5. I have some serious question marks about Brighton and Villa. Chelsea are on fire right now, but it is at Anfield. That's why I'm going to give Liverpool the edge, and I think they can get a draw away to Arsenal. I think Arsenal are not quite as dangerous as last season.
Yeah.
But that's a good segue into the next big game that we need to talk about. Chelsea beating Brighton 4-2 at Stamford Bridge. Now, Brighton, we'll talk about them very quickly. I feel like their team is set up very poorly to do well against Liverpool. I think that the midfield, they're such a frustrating team. They always are a frustrating team. Their high line against Chelsea was just completely picked apart. Like, I don't know who thought it was a good idea to have Webster and Lewis Dunk chasing Nicholas Jackson, Jadon Sancho, and Cole Palmer and Madueke, but probably wasn't a good idea, fam. And that's probably why you conceded 4 goals and a penalty in the first half. And I think with how on fire Salah and Luis Diaz are right now, I kind of think the same thing is going to happen. Like, I kind of think Brighton's going to lose that one 3-1 or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't think
McAllister's been locked down in the midfield too.
McAllister's been locked down. Listen, he's an excellent player. He's one of those guys that drives me crazy when it comes to fantasy because I always want him in because he's a good player. And to me, if you play well, you should score points. None of his stats are point scoring stats,
Correct.
But it is 100% necessary. I mean, dude is he's a presence. He's a presence. You know what he is? If we're
0 goal in
Warcraft, he's throwing up a bunch of buffs. He's just throwing up buffs.
Yeah.
Stick close to him, you're going to get all sorts of buffs.
Yeah. He's like a healer, maybe.
He is. Yeah.
I'm not even sure if he's DPS. Yeah.
No, he's not DPS. Not at all. No. That's Luis
DPS,
Diaz and Salah.
Correct. Yeah.
Top in the boards. Yeah.
And Van Dijk is definitely the tank.
Yes. Oh, my God, for sure. Van Dijk's
he's probably he's a Night Elf Druid. He just turns into the goddamn bear.
Bear Druid. Yep. There it is.
Yep. Bear tank. 100%. Now, Chelsea, 4 goddamn goals for Cole Palmer, including one of the most ridiculous free kicks I've seen in a long time. I mean,
long time.
Pure filth. If not for the James Justin goal against Arsenal, I think that would be the goal of the month. But that half volley from Justin was absolutely disgusting as well. We talked about Liverpool and how nobody seems to be really considering them a real threat. Do we have to consider Chelsea a legitimate title contender now, or do we need to see more first?
I need to see more first. You can't. I cannot in good conscience buy into a 3-week turnaround at the hands of Cole Palmer, because I will remind you, Brighton scored 2 against them. Brighton scored 2.
Is that bad?
I
mean, Brighton not bad. They don't have a bad offense.
No, Brighton doesn't have a bad offense, but you got to do one or something. Like I don't know. To me, I don't like that all of your goal scoring threat comes from Cole. Well, you know what? I'm kind of talking myself in circles here because Nicholas Jackson has been excellent, and Jadon Sancho is turning into a real threat. Cucurella also had a really great game.
Yes.
Maybe we do have to consider them. God, I'm talking myself out of my own argument.
No, one of the goals he conceded was basically Roberto Sanchez just turning the ball over and Brighton score. I think Carlos Baleba who was by far Brighton's best player, scored it.
Okay.
Just like, what do we need to see? What do we need to see? I guess they haven't really taken down any, like, gigantes, right? I mean,
No, I'm
they
looking
beat
at their
West
matches
Ham,
right now.
Brighton, Bournemouth, Wolves. Yeah, they've had a similar, like, kinda easy ride to
Then
Liverpool. I guess they're kinda 2 peas in a pod.
I think Liverpool will be a good metric for them. Dude, they've got an easy run of games. They're next, like, they've got Liverpool. They're playing Manchester United, but we all know how that goes. Also, Newcastle looks, surprisingly not impotent, this last game against Manchester City. But I would say
I didn't get to watch it.
I didn't get to watch it either, but a 1-1 draw against City. It's nothing to turn your nose up at.
No, definitely not.
October, they play Newcastle. The end of October and October 20th, they play Liverpool. Their next like scary game that they come to is November 10th against Arsenal. So, my man, I think these guys might be looking like title contenders up until then. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing because if they're, like, scorching hot and the vibes are really good, they could benefit from that easy start to the season, and they might
Yes.
beat Arsenal.
Yeah, they might. They
Like,
could.
let's talk about the squad for a second here, like, they're finally looking like how they should have looked. Like, Enzo Fernandez was so good against Brighton, and Moises Caicedo, oh my god. Like, they're looking like the CONMEBOL destroyers that we thought they were going to be when they were originally purchased. Might have been the fact that, I don't know, like 13 different guys were bought in that offseason, and Graham Potter was the manager, and there was a bunch of other factors that probably, the team being sold, obviously, by a Russian oligarch at the outbreak of a war. So maybe some of that had some effect on how the players were performing on the pitch. But it seems now like they're really coming good. Like, they came good at the end of last season. They sacked Poch, took a risk, appointed Maresca, and he looks pretty solid. And I'm very confused why people were so down on this team at the beginning of the season. And now I wonder if anybody is still down on them. Like, are there still Chelsea haters? Please let us know in the comments why. Or Chelsea doubters. You don't have to be a hater, but if you're a Chelsea doubter, why? I mean, Sancho, Palmer, Madueke, Nicholas Jackson, front four.
You can
It's
leave
pretty
Madueke
damn
out of that.
good, dude.
You can leave him out of that.
Leave him out of that?
Yeah.
Who do I bring in instead?
I don't know. You just talk about the other guys.
I mean, Nkunku's still not really getting in there.
Nkunku's not really getting in there. No. I don't think you need
Neto,
anybody else
maybe?
though because of how good Sancho and Jackson are. We knew Palmer was good. We knew he was good. He proved that last year. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the fact that Sancho is coming alive is really the difference maker here because that takes a lot of pressure off of Jackson in that a lot of people are going to
100%.
be focusing on Palmer and Sancho. So Jackson's going to have a lot more or a lot less attention to himself now,
Well,
Either
they have a
that
left
or
winger for the
Jackson
first
takes the
time in 3
attention.
years.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, they don't have to be, like, so one-dimensional. I mean, you look at how Sancho's playing versus Mudryk last year, and it's like, okay, now they become scary. Like, I feel like people don't understand this. If you have a front three and one of those guys is ass cheeks, that's a massive impact on how you guys play. Like, you can't have one of those guys be a genuine liability. Like, we just talked about Spurs earlier. Werner was doing nothing but running. Like, we should have scored 5 today. I think our expected goals was like 4.5 at Old Trafford. We walk away with 3 because Timo Werner's terrible. So if you're Chelsea and you got, you're Nicholas Jackson, who's already adjusting to the Prem after coming over from Villarreal, it's a big change of pace, and you got some guy who's a liability next to you, well, that's not going to make you better. Playing with better teammates makes you better. And now Sancho's come in, bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he's looking good.
He's looking decent. He's looking pretty decent. Yes.
He's looking pretty decent. Pretty decent. So that makes Chelsea very, very scary.
Agreed.
I still think the
Not-
depth, I don't know how many of those bench guys are are still hitting their potential, but we've seen a lot of improvement from their players across the board.
We have seen a
What
lot
were
of
you gonna say?
improvement, and I think those bench guys are going to be better now that they have competition coming up against them. Because, like I said earlier, Cole Palmer, dude, he elevated the expectation for a lot of these players. He elevated the Chelsea style of play significantly.
Where do you think Cole Palmer ranks in attackers in the Premier League right now?
You gotta put him top 3. You gotta put him top 3. It's him and Haaland tied for the 1 spot, and I think probably Salah right outside of that.
Salah for me is better still.
Well, the thing is about them. They have tenure. They are a proven commodity. Cole Palmer was not exactly a magician at City. He did have a couple contributions. I remember that fondly. But he just wasn't the guy at Chelsea. The system is a much better fit for him, and he's able to flourish, right? He is that guy. I mean, he's just looking good. He's elevating that style of play, but he's been doing it for a season now. If you want to do it collectively, he has been collectively good, excellent for a season. And that doesn't compete with Mo Salah's reign of terror that he's had on the Premier League and Erling Haaland breaking the goal scoring record, looking on track to break that record this season. I just think that we got to see more from Cole Palmer. That being said, I was watching some YouTube videos about Cole Palmer and just trying to do some research. And Rory Jennings actually brought up that since Cole Palmer's been at Chelsea, he and Erling Haaland have been competing with goal contributions, not legitimately, but if you just look at their stats, Cole Palmer has 43 goal contributions and Erling Haaland only has 39, which is still unreal.
Yeah.
But that tells you something, right? That tells you that the Chelsea offense runs through Cole Palmer and it's working and it's not showing any signs of stopping. So I think you have to give him credit for that because, you know, as much as I love Erling Haaland, if you put him on a different team that doesn't have that Pep system where he could just knock him in, does he produce as much? If you put him on Chelsea in place of Cole Palmer, maybe not playing the same position, obviously, but is he doing the same thing? I don't know. I don't know that he would, just like Cole Palmer doesn't go the other way, but I can admit that his assists and the way that he has changed Chelsea's offense is invaluable. And you got to take that into account.
Yeah, that's where I think the argument is for other players above Cole Palmer as well. Like, I would agree that Haaland, I mean, it's tough comparing the striker to the cam, but Haaland's just the best finisher in the Prem. The records are insane. You got to put him above Cole Palmer. Mo Salah, for me, I mean, again, people act like this man's trash. He's got 4 goals and 4 assists in 6 games this season. He had 18 and 10 last year. And again, nobody was talking about him. It was like, dude got shot practically. Hasn't scored less than 19 goals in a season since 2016 when he was with Roma. For me, he's still better.
He's still number one. No, look, when Eden Hazard and Kun Agüero abdicated the Premier League goal-scoring throne, he sat it, and it wasn't close, right? It wasn't close, and it hasn't been close since Haaland broke the goal-scoring record.
Yeah.
I think you could argue that maybe you have to give it to him just for the record, but
depends if you value skill or just pure stats. Because if you're talking footballer, it's Mo Salah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Then you get into this kind of like tier 2 where it's like, okay, you can make an argument for or against, like Martin Odegaard.
Yeah.
You can make the argument for or against. I'm not really sure. We don't have to have an in-depth debate about this now, but that's one of the guys. And Bukayo Saka as well. Like, is Saka better than Cole Palmer? Very tough.
That is very tough. I would say that Saka's output is not the same, but they don't ask as much of Saka. They want that offense to be split. So I think that he's not in a position to challenge that. Whereas you take Cole Palmer out of this Chelsea offense, God forbid he gets injured this year, because if he gets injured, I don't think they're title contenders. I don't think they've got a prayer.
Oh, they're done. Yeah.
They're done. They're done. But
Arsenal's done if Saka gets hurt. Title contenders, they're done without Saka. Top 4, yeah, they're good enough. They can throw Trossard out there. They can.
You think if Trossard goes out and Odegaard comes back healthy, and they put him in, you don't think that they have a prayer?
A prayer. They have a prayer, but
I think they still finish top 3, top 4.
Yeah, they finished third in my opinion. I think Liverpool beats them in that case.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If Palmer goes out, I don't think Chelsea finishes top 3.
Well, who's going at the cam if he goes down?
Exactly.
Jesus,
that's what I'm saying. Saka's replaceable. Not obviously not to listen, not to that quality, right? You don't want anybody else out there, but you can make do. You can patch that hole, right? You can stop the hemorrhaging. I don't think that
kind of.
Listen. If here's where I'm at. If Haaland gets injured, Man City's cooked, right? I think we lose a massive goal scoring threat. The goals will come, but it'll just be looking rough. I think we will have a serious issue with competing for the title. Liverpool, if Mo Salah goes down, Luis Diaz is good. He can't carry that weight. Cole Palmer goes down.
We're kind of conflating like most valuable with good now.
Okay. I guess I can appreciate that.
Because I agree with what you're saying. Like, is Saka the most valuable player in the Prem? No. Because if we're talking about like, all right, take this guy off the team and their ass cheeks, bro, Matthias Cunha is a top 3 MVP.
Yeah.
If that is the metric, you know what I'm saying?
He's up there, yeah.
You take him off Wolves, they're 100% relegated. But that's why this like who's the best is kind of tough. Like, here's a name I wanted to throw at you, Alexander Isak.
Yeah,
21 goals last season for Newcastle. You think you put him on City? You think he can't get you more than 20? He pushing 30 for City for sure. Does that make him better than Cole Palmer? I don't know. He's also got the tech. He's got the technical skills.
I think you're right. It goes back to what you want, what you're looking for. And I guess that's why I hopped into this argument, because somebody who drives an offense, who manages that, is very impressive to me. The beating heart and soul. I just like that he's making the 10 sexy again. You know?
Yeah. He is. So I think we need like another season. We need another season where then we can really sit down and say, okay, Odegaard versus Palmer. That's really the most like for like comparison here. Like, who's better? I mean, Palmer's finishing ability is ridiculous.
Insane.
He's a better finisher than Odegaard.
He might be the best finishing midfielder in the Prem.
Yeah, he might. But the dribbling, I mean, Odegaard's pretty shifty. Palmer's he's not a bad dribbler, but I think Odegaard's better in like the tight spaces.
Agreed.
He's a little bit bouncier than Palmer. But like the passing range of both, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Agreed.
It's pretty close. So you guys let us know where you rank Cole Palmer. Let's move it on to the last game that we're going to talk somewhat extensively about. Everton picking up their first goddamn win of the season, 2-1 versus Crystal Palace at Goodison Park. Now, I just want to say, is it a coincidence that Jared Branthwaite, their best player and best defender last season, makes his debut in this game and they win? Coincidence or not? Let us know down below in the comments.
It's not. Okay. It's not. We said this last.
Wait. It's not a coincidence that a defensive manager gets his best defender back and then wins a game. It's not a coincidence.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Sorry. Continue. Just wanted to clarify.
No, that's what I got. We said this was happening.
Literally said this last week.
We said it last week, and lo and behold, here we are. I have no idea what else to say. Just give him some time. It also doesn't hurt that Jack Harrison came in, made an impact. If that guy can recapture any form, get him in, these guys will finish probably, middle of the table, probably a little bit above, optimistically. You think 10th, 9th?
Dude, fuck no, they're not finishing ninth. This guy, no, they're not finishing ninth. That would be if Everton finished ninth. Where did they finish last season with the points deduction?
Yeah, that might have
They
been
were
crazy.
15th. If he gets them to ninth, I don't understand
it's not gonna
why
be Jack Harrison. It's not going to be Jack Harrison.
No.
No.
Hell no.
It will help.
What's the guy's name?
It helps, but no.
Beto had an opportunity this game to make it 3-1, should have put it away, and the dude is just cheeks. He let LaCroix just run his ass down. I mean, the attack is so dependent on Dwight McNeil. It's crazy. Did you know he's actually first in the entire Premier League in chances created? And he plays for Everton.
That's insane. It's solid.
Like, get this man out. Free McNeil, dude.
Free McNeil. Send him to Wolves, for the love of God. God, dude, put him on Wolves, dude.
Oh, Wolves that would be a genius transfer for Wolves. Larson, Cunha, McNeil front three. Oh, we have something now.
We got something, yeah.
That's way better than Man U's attack. Come on now. Why don't Man U buy Dwight McNeil? I don't get it. He's like a Jared Bowen figure to me. It's like, does nobody else think this guy's good? It just blows my mind. He's doing everything.
He's got a cult following. I've been hearing a little bit about him.
Okay.
He's got a cult following.
He's
getting some of the respect that he deserves. Agreed.
Okay, because he had a brace this game. He won them the game. Do you think this throws some cold water on the Sean Dyche shout talk? Can we all calm down for a second, or are we still infuriated that he is currently 16th?
I think that they keep quiet for a week, and it depends on what this turns into. Does this turn into anything? Do you want to look at some of their matches coming up?
Yeah, tell me about them real quick.
Oh God, looking at their record, I'm seeing a lot of red. But they got Newcastle up next, who, although they did tie with Manchester City, I'm not sold on that. They've got Newcastle, they've got Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton, and West Ham.
Oh, they can get 2 dubs there.
Yeah, you think 2 dubs? You think 6 points from those?
I think they beat Southampton. Oh, it's away though, I think. Southampton are bad though. I think they're set up and annoying enough to get a draw against either Newcastle or Fulham, which are both at home.
Yeah.
I think they can at least draw Ipswich away. I think they can beat Southampton away, and West Ham suck ass right now. So that could also be a draw. I mean, they could not lose. I don't know. They might get 4 draws in the next 5, but I'm very curious. We need to write something down that for the Prem recap week 11, we're going to look back at just the last 5 weeks and be like, what did Everton do? And is Sean Dyche still the manager? And how many goals did Dwight McNeil score? Those are the 3 talking points for Everton moving forward.
Yeah, agreed.
On the other side, Crystal Palace. I tweeted this. Crystal Palace are now genuine relegation favorites. I think this team is in some serious trouble. And the argument against them being relegation, you must prove that there are 3 teams worse than them. So let's look at the candidates for teams that could be worse than Crystal Palace. Southampton, they are worse than Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Southampton are relegated for sure.
Yeah.
Ipswich, dude, I don't know.
Ipswich,
I don't know.
Look, that buy of Mr. what's his name, Delap?
Yeah,
from City. That's looking like an incredible transfer. It's looking like it's worth.
Looking like an incredible
I think it's
transfer.
20 million. Looking like a sound transfer there.
Dude, they should have beat Villa today. If Emi Martinez did not channel the 2020 World Cup final, Ipswich beat Villa at home today.
Dude, Emi Martinez, what a stud. What a stud.
And Ipswich gifted, what's the guy's name? Morgan Rogers gifted Villa the first goal. Basically an own goal. So that team is actually quite okay. Yeah. They're quite okay. They got some ballers in that team. I don't think you can say Ipswich more of a relegation threat than Crystal Palace. Comment down below, but I'm not saying that after what I've seen. Leicester. Now, this one's interesting. This one is interesting. Leicester look really good at times. And then they kind of like just fall off.
Give it away. Then they sell.
Then they just give it away,
hard.
dude.
It
so close to the draw.
Sense. Yeah.
So close to for the draw against Arsenal this week. So I think we'll say Southampton, yes. Wolves?
No. I disagree. Here's
okay. Wolves are better.
What about this? Wolves have not performed better, but the ceiling that Wolves have is higher than Crystal Palace's. If Wolves fix something,
correct.
If they set themselves up well, they get themselves a new manager around Christmas time, bring, I don't know, any 10 that has ever existed to play the game of football. If they put a kid from a middle school league in at the 10, they could probably make a run and find themselves above Crystal Palace.
Put a different way, you could say Wolves have shown enough potential to where I don't feel super scared about them getting relegated. Whether it's with Gary O'Neill or he gets sacked, I promise you the next manager who comes in is like, I can work with these pieces.
Yes.
They just got to be a little more pragmatic. I think they've been naive. Way too attacking at times, and they just don't have the personnel for that, especially not in the back line. Crystal Palace, first off, you allowed a remontada from Everton, which is never a good thing.
No.
You look at the departures in the transfer window. I mean, the Elise and Anderson especially, big losses for this team. Now, that LaCroix kid that they brought in, I think he looks like a proper player. But why didn't you keep Anderson, bring him in, and have a back three of LaCroix, Anderson, Gahey? That would have been pretty damn good. Offensively, you've brought in Daichi Kamada to replace Elise, and he's just been bad. I mean, I'm a borderline Japanese nationalist, and he's been a bad signing, and he was free, dude. Can you imagine if they paid $25 million for him?
One of the, candidates for worst signings, at least for initial reaction.
Cameron Archer still got that locked up, but Kamada is, dude. He's not top 5 yet. Worst signings because he was free. Again, let's check back in. We have a lot of things for Matchday 11. Hit subscribe. We're gonna look at how Everton did in the last 5 games, and has Daichi Kamada done anything yet for Crystal Palace? Because if the answer is no, he's top 5 worst signings as a free transfer. He's just not getting it done, dude. It's either. If Eze doesn't ball out, they're awful going forward. And Tyreek Mitchell is the only other person doing anything. Dude, Jefferson Lerma is 3rd on the team in expected assists. He's played 2 games, and one was as a center back. 3rd in expected assists. He started as a CB last game. I mean, I think Glasner's had a howler. Throw that man in the midfield. Did you not watch the Copa America? What are you doing? Do you not watch Deadball TV? This is one of the best midfielders in South America. You got him on the goddamn bench for Adam Wharton and Daichi Kamada?
Come on.
Like, come on, bro. You can't score for shit. Maybe the guy who's one of your best creators as a center back, maybe move him higher up the pitch. I don't know.
Give it a shot. See what happens. You've got nothing else to lose at this point.
You've got nothing else to lose. I think they're in real trouble. Who are their next 3?
That I haven't seen.
Let's see. They have they have Liverpool at home,
Nottingham
Forest away, Spurs at home. Oh, they're
dude, and then they finished. go keep it pushing. They have Aston Villa after. Oh no, Aston Villa's EFL Cup. Sorry, but they do have Aston Villa. They have Wolves. They have Wolves, Fulham, and then Aston Villa. This does not get reasonable for them. Oh my god. Oh my
they're
word.
Cooked.
Dude, yeah, they might be absolutely cooked. They might be riding the bottom of the table. The next game that I could see them having a decent chance of winning. Wow. They've got Southampton on December 29th. Game before that is Bournemouth. But I don't even feel confident that they can do that. I'm not seeing an
Bournemouth
easy run of
away.
fixtures for them.
No, I mean, they got Ipswich away on December 3rd.
Why do they have the hardest schedule in the entire Prem? What? I feel like everybody else gets a break, and they're just like, where are all the bad teams here?
Well, dude, they've already played some of the bad teams. They've already played Brentford and lost. They played West Ham and lost. They played Leicester and drawn. They played Wolves, or excuse me, sorry. They played Manchester United and drawn, and they played Everton and lost. Dude, they might have the 3 worst losses of any team in the Prem right now.
Yeah, they're hemorrhaging.
Brentford, West Ham, and Everton are your losses.
The outlook for this team is diabolical. They're going down like the Titanic. It feels like.
That's 11th, 14th, and 16th in the table beating your ass.
Yeah.
That's awful. They are really in trouble, man. I mean, okay, let's end it here. Who panics and sacks their manager first? Crystal Palace or Wolves?
That is an insanely difficult question. That is an insanely difficult question. Dude, are we going to get a double sacking weekend?
We might have a double sacking weekend. If they play each other and draw, they might be double sacked.
Yeah, they could. Dude, I have no idea. That's probably the most difficult question you've asked me in a while. I don't have an answer for you.
I also have not a goddamn clue.
Not a clue.
Not
a one.
You think that Palace has more talent to play with if a new guy comes in? But I don't know. I mean, I think Gary O'Neill's won like one of his last 18 games with Wolves. So he probably goes first. At least Glasner could say, hey, I was cooking at the end of last season. I'm still just adjusting to my new players. I think Wolves fire first.
Wolves. Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. 1 out of 18 is just insane.
Yeah, it might be 1 out of 15 or something, but it is
give or take. It doesn't matter. 1 out of your
Yeah.
last 10, you're in the hot seat.
Well, you know how they be in the comments.
Yeah.
They're like, it was actually 16.
They're like, you absolute idiots. You were 1 game off. You don't even watch the Prem.
Yeah. They're like, you don't know a single player for Wolves. Even though we've name dropped 7 in this video.
Find something else to do with your Saturdays. Find something else to do. Ain't no way you got that much free time.
Yeah. Oh, they be hating in the comments. They be hating in the comments, though. They love to do it. Any closing thoughts before I gotta watch the Madrid derby here?
No, that's
get really frustrated.
That's it for me.
Okay. Well, that's it from both of us then. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you drop a like on the video. Let us know your comments down below. Hit subscribe if you want to see more Premier League content here on Deadball TV. And lastly, if you're listening on streaming platforms, please give the podcast a 5-star rating. We appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all next week. Actually, we won't because it's international break, right?
I don't know.
No, we have one more.
We got one.
Yeah, we got y'all for one more week. All right, we'll see y'all.